Our football team, we had a good practice this morning, bouncing back really from, for everybody involved with our program, an embarrassing loss at Liberty. Liberty's a really good football team. I think that defensively we did not play anywhere near where we're capable of. Really did not play well at all. We didn't tackle. We weren't in position. I think one of the things is your good players have to play good in those situations, and we didn't do that. And the thing about this group, the thing about this coaching staff is we've always taken responsibility, and they players took it. The coaches took responsibility for that performance, and just excited to move past it, to learn from it, and to continue to look forward to trying to find a way to win this game against Sam Houston. Last home game for 18 seniors of our football team. I think 8 of the 18 have been here, for their career. I think 2 of them, of the 18, are guys that have been here for 2 years, and then 8 of the remaining 18 have been here for a year. And so you want to try to make it as good as you can for them in terms of this last home game at Joe Ice Stadium. And for us, is to create momentum as we go into the winter, create momentum and to finish the season strong. We've been a resilient football team. We've just been a team that's came up short in a lot of games. And our job is to win. We understand that. There's nobody more frustrated than the coaches and players because everyone that's associated with our program has one goal, and that's to win, on and off the field. And so I think one of the ways that we can do that is to show our kids, how we respond, to show our kids how we show up to work. And the thing we talked to them about today is just the passion that you do it with. Whatever you do, you're going to need to have a lot of passion to do it, and our guys had that today. Pleased with their ability to bounce back, to come out to Tuesday's practice with great intent and have a lot of pride about who they are and have a lot of pride about what you're trying to get accomplished. They're similar to us in terms of their story of they've lost 4 of the 5 games by 1 possession. They lost to Jacksonville State in overtime. They lost to FIU in double overtime. They had a 4th and 19 that the FIU quarterback ran for 20 yards, or that game's over. Or they beat FIU. We watched the film all week last week on Liberty, and we saw they got down there 21-16 with 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. And so this is a team that's very, very capable. This is a team that has talent. This is a team that has a lot of players. Their best players redshirted last year. They have a lot of experience as they were the national champions at FCS a few years back. Coach Keeler is a phenomenal coach. And so this team, from an offensive standpoint, they present a lot of problems because I think their running back is a really good player in John Gentry. I think their quarterback is really scrappy and competitive. I think that's what when you look at Keegan Shoemake and you watch him play and had a chance to watch some of their midweek games, just really admire his grit, admire his toughness and his competitiveness. Because he doesn't stop, and there's games where New Mexico State is 27-0 at halftime. They're trailing. They get it to 27-13. They have a drive mid to early 4th quarter to get the game 27-20. They throw a beautiful pass down. It gets dropped. It gets reviewed, overturned. Was a touchdown to make it 27-20. And so this is a team that's a good football team. We have good teams in our league defensively. I really admire how they play in terms of their front and their linebackers. They're very aggressive. They're very active. They play extremely hard. And so, it's going to be a huge challenge for us. Special teams, they do a really nice job with their kickoff cover unit. They create problems there in their kickoff cover unit in terms of their effort and then also schematically. And then punt defense for us, and getting smoke loose is going to be a challenge too because their punter, really keeps you off balance with his ability to punt. Yeah, he means a lot, I think, to our players. He means a tremendous amount. I think it's undoubtedly he'll go down as one of the great Louisiana Tech football players. Standing up here in this team room, I don't even want to look down and see where he sits because you think about in 2 to 3 weeks when all those guys are gone, and that's the thing that about coaching is you care about people, and you care a lot about people, and your players is who you care a lot about, and how he has handled himself in this era of transfer portal, and this era of things this season. He's had his best season since he's been here, and we came up short in some games, and we haven't been able to get over the hump, which we're going to, which we're headed that direction. We're trending that direction, and his leadership in this season, his work habits, his loyalty, which we talk about it in terms of being action, to this program has shown every single day. And I think it was a great example, is a great example for our players at other positions, at his position, for our coaches. There's a lot of guys on our team that are joys to coach. You ache for them because the results haven't been, what we all want. But I think Smoke Harris is a dynamic, very, very, very tough, competitive, unique football player, and we're going to miss him in a lot of ways on Saturdays on the field, but we're also going to miss Monday through Friday in these facilities, in these team rooms, and what he brought to our football team. And we got a couple more weeks to continue to get that out and to be a part of it and to really relish that. Well, it's still the same goal as far as being the best version of ourselves, which we fell short of that on Saturday night, being the best version of ourselves for 4 quarters. I think there was glimpses on offense. I think Hank, in terms of getting graded out the highest that he had all season in terms of the things that we look for in terms of our screen game, our run screen game, our RPO game, our accuracy. He had 2 throws that he missed, but otherwise I thought he had his highest graded game and operated really well on our offense. And so it's being the best version of ourselves. We've got to run the football better on offense against a really good run defense. We've got to stop the run better than what we have. We got to get off the field on 3rd downs. We took a step offensively, in terms of being, I think we're around 40 to 45% on 3rd downs against Liberty, which was better than what we have been. So those are the things that you're going for. It's just being the best version of yourself and the finishing things out. And it's been the same no matter whether you're winning or losing. There's just different challenges, and it's not a take your ball and go home approach. It's an approach to do your absolute best every single day, because as soon as they leave here, whether they continue to play or whether they become a husband, a father, whether they work wherever they work, there's going to be a lot of really good seasons and a lot of really good celebrations, but there's going to be a lot of really hard challenges, and you have to wake up the next day, you have to show up, and you have to take those challenges head on, and which we're not afraid to do. I think from a health standpoint, we're running back room is about the same. I think that I think Tyree will be able to go. I think Keith is going to be a week stronger, and so that's going to be good to see. Defensively, I think that there's a chance that you may see Jaden Burnett, just depending on how his week of practice goes and how confident he feels, and so I think we're about as healthy as we can be. I think we're going to have, for the most part, unless there's season-ending injuries, I think we're going to have most of our guys out there and available. Yeah, I think that, Keith runs obviously very powerful. He's a very powerful kid, not a lot of hesitation with him. And so those are the types of situations that we want to put him in terms of being able to be successful in a short yardage situation, because that's really his strength. And he was able to execute that. I think it was a teach tape example from our offensive line and tight ends in terms of blocking the power up to the left and him staying in the A-gap. And he brings a lot of energy on kickoff. I think if you watch our team and you study our football team at all, you watch on kickoff, there's 2 guys on kickoff that really stand out, and it's Ryan Rivera and Keith Willis when he's in the game. Number 21 is always the first one down there. So he provides an energy and a spark. He's got to be a little bit more patient on some of our gap schemes and some of our pin and pull schemes to the outside and let the blocks develop a little better. But, it's definitely been a huge lift to have him back in terms of being able to get, a little bit more life and a little bit more juice into our run game from that standpoint.